Hey YouTube! So, acoustic video time. This is a different. This is acoustic accumulated. Basically, these are the guitars that I've got in trades and stuff. I've not really intentionally and on purpose bought an acoustic guitar for ages. So this is the order I got them in. Also, it could be different sizes and shapes of acoustic guitars. Unfortunately, I don't know what any of them are called. Is this a parlour guitar? It could be. This I got off. I got a trade off my pal Ronnie. I think I traded it for an old Japanese nylon string, if I remember correctly. I can't remember how I was trying to sell it for. He's like, no, I'll give you more than that. I'll give you that and a Gretsch. It was like, yeah, great, a Gretsch. Expecting it to be like a cardboard Gretsch, or you know, like, I don't know, a badge or a hat or something. But no, it was actually genuinely a Gretsch Wild West Sweethearts, which I actually like. There's 4 of these in the range, and one of them's got like UFOs picking up cowboys, and that one's worth 400 or 500 quid. Whereas the rest of them I think are worth 400 or 500 quid for the set. So obviously the one with the flying saucers on it's the best one. Although it's green. This is the nicest colour. This one's red, and it's got like it's just sheer class. Really, it's like a cowboy campfire song. I assume it's made in China. Does it say on it? No, made in Indonesia. A G4530 Americana series. So I think you get one called a Gretsch Jim Dandy, which seems to be very similar to this, but I think they still make it. So a really wee acoustic guitar, steel strings. I just picked up this thinking out of interest. I don't know. Got a 24-inch scale, so quite a sort of short scale, but it's got a sound and I really like it. I've been playing it for the last 10 minutes. Kind of forgot I had it. Strings on it are like a year old, so I've maybe had this for probably more than 2 years actually. So I think this is a great wee guitar. I've tried to sell it a couple of times. No one seems interested in it. Possibly just because it's hideous, but I mean it's more interesting than normal. And if you're talking about a campfire acoustic, how could it be any better than this? Especially if you've got if you're going via horse, you know, perfect. But it's a really sweet sound, dead trebly, not loud. You can kind of play it with a bit of volume, get a bit of almost distortion on it without it being definitely loud. Yep, so that is guitar number 1, small. Guitar number 2, I got this at a car boot sale, damaged only because of the make it is. My actual acoustic collection, which consists of 2 Yamahas and 2 Washburns, I've not seen for a long time, since before I got any of these, so I've not dug them out, I don't think. I keep thinking about acoustics as the strings ring. So this is a wee Tarada, which as you can see is bigger, but not much bigger than the parlour guitar. So I think this is an F something, is it? FL202, I think it's early 70s, made in Japan. Just this is one of the cheaper ones. It doesn't have any binding or anything on it. In fact, neither does the Wild West Sweethearts one. Also, I've been noticing I've been messing about with the headphones a little bit here. I can get if I have this blasting straight, I can get a sort of boomy muffled sounds, which I think I was doing for the Beggars Banquet stuff. If I I kind of do it that way, so the sound's kind of coming from the side, you get a bit more jangle. Again, we're coming down here to, this sounds different from that. That sounds different from a normal acoustic. For me, a normal acoustic is a dreadnought. So anything that's not that has a different sound. You know, it's like, I talked about this before, I think I probably said it in a video recently. If you only ever play Stratocasters, you know, anything from, you know, your cheapest sort of Encore Squire thing up to like a £1,000, you know, American thing, they're all Stratocasters, so getting a shot of a telly will be more different than any of the Strats are. So it's kind of like that with acoustics. So this is just a different concept. This is, again, I'm going to say a sweeter sound. I think it's a lovely sounding wee thing. Could do with changing the strings on it. But I got this for a tenner because it was crushed. Actually, Jen got me it for a tenner. I was like, oh. Look at that, it said Terada on it, and I know that my Washburns are made by Terada, and Terada make Ibanez and all sorts of 70s Japanese guitars, so it was a Terada. And then I was looking at it, the front was pure crushed and the brace was hanging off, you know. So I bought it, Jen's like, oh, do you give me a tenner for it? I was like, oh, give me a tenner, and the guy's like, okay. So, cheers Jen. Yeah, also I love the tuners on it, both types. One type, I think the ones on the bottom are the kind of original 3 on a strip type things, and then the ones on the top look like they might be from a Dan Electro or something, or some sort of spaceship, but they're good. Not really much else to say about this wee guitar. It's got a 0 fret, but I talked to my pal Ronnie about this, is like you can tell the expensive guitar. See, this is a 25.5 inch scale, so there you go, 24 inch, 25.5, so full size Stratocaster scale. I wouldn't have known that. So you've quite a chunky neck. But the test of a good guitar, it works the same with electrics as well, but with acoustics I suppose you can't hide it with electricity. All the strings are the same volume. And you only notice it when you're playing certain things, especially when you're doing your separation between the bass. That's the one walking bass line thing I can play. Yeah, so I was so impressed with this wee Terada for a tenner. I even took it out in the boat and everything. This kind of reinvigorated my love of acoustics, although I did enjoy doing that and playing Blazing Saddles on it, but I was reinvigorated by this, just thinking, yes, shit old Japanese acoustics, that's what we want. So a couple after this I was looking at it and you see a lot of nylon stringers at the boot sale. I was like a Terada one of them, and then I think it was only a couple of weeks once I'd fallen in love with this thing, fixed it and stuff like that, partly because I'd fixed it using lollipop sticks as braces and wood glue and stuff, made it that little bit better. It's also very bashed, but Jen got a Suzuki acoustic at a charity shop. I was like, oh, I'm really loving that. I'd love a nylon string version, you know, a Japanese acoustic. And by the time I went over that afternoon, she'd already painted it, so I never got that. And then later on, she did fine. This one, I think this one was a £5. This one had all the braces hanging off it. So this is another Terada, but nylon string, so chunky neck. I don't think it's got a truss rod. No truss rod. This is a 22.5 inch scale. I'm quite pleased I decided to pick that up. So this is obviously very, very worn. Not an expensive guitar, but don't know if you can really see it. Does this have a serial number in the block? It does. 471017. Oh, come on. Can't see it because of the way the light is. This doesn't have the bloody serial number on the heel. Oh, okay, right, so yeah, so Tirada guitars have that serial number on the heel in that order. Yeah, so this had all sorts of bracings off all over the inside. It had been sat on, and it was like some of the bits was hanging off. But I managed to get it back together again. Again, we're talking about a fiver here. I was one of the reasons I thought it was a good idea having a nylon string is the strings don't go rusty. So provided you put decent strings on it and tune it up, I should be able to keep it in the boot of the car forever. Which I'll always have a guitar. At least that was the plan. Yes, so I mean, again, I like this as well. I have to say I did try this against the Suzuki Classico that J-Pax got, and it was this was quite a different thing. This is like a wee small, delicate. Is this a parlour guitar? But in fact, is it exactly the same? It's very nearly exactly the same as that one. You know, slight variation. Actually, that's mad. You would look at that and you would think that the red one looks thicker, but in actual, when you're looking up closer, this one looks thicker. But that's I think there is actually a nylon version of that. Yeah, so we're going on. We're going for 10 minutes. Like halfway, that's fine. 20 minutes seems to be my attention span anyway. So, we Tirada nylon stringer. Just a cheapie, but it's worth looking for these things just to see what happens. So, after that, I went and bought the wee, what was it called? The Hofner Colorama, and the guy had some other guitars. All of them had warped necks, so I bought them for a pittance. Basically, they were all fucked. And what has happened is I noticed that actually all of them had bent necks. They were all twisted and stuff, but they tuned the strings up beyond E to try and get them to the next octave. So they'd managed to get the E, A, and the D and the G up to that tension, and then the other strings had snapped, which had meant the guitar wasn't only tuned an octave higher with normal strings than it should be, but it was only... I saw that happen behind me. Yeah, this is me trying to get all the acoustics in shot. There we go. So, and one of them was this, which had been strung left-handed. This one wasn't knackered. It was just strung left-handed and dirty. So this is an actual Spanish guitar, as it made in Spain, and it's like, look at the fancy wood it's made of. So I think it's definitely a solid top. This one, a bit more traditional. It's a Jose Mas Guitarras de Artesana, Villa de Madrid, with a telephone number on it. Paterna, Valencia, Spain. So this is a proper Spanish guitar. So the neck on it's super chunk. It's not the same kind of thing. This wee Tirada is it's got a much thinner neck going this way. Annoying the way this mic's there, but I mean, instead of that, I'm not hear it. 25.5 inch scale, so full. There you go. It's about 22, 25.5. That's quite a big difference. But it's very different to that. Now that you hear it immediately after it, that's kind of like, sounds like an ice cream tub with elastic bands on it. This has got a real... Mind blown, just found a new chord. Only because I'm playing this stupid, very hard, super flat fretboard thing. So you're playing a G, and you put on that note there. That's the same as... or... So this one, that one has no fret markings on the front, and then it's got 2 on the edge, and boy do you use them, and to the point I've not noticed it doesn't have fret markings. This one has it doesn't have a fret, it doesn't have the 3rd, but it's the 5th, and it's got 2 dots in the 7th. That's pretty mad actually, isn't it? I was looking to see whether I put the dots in. No, it's fully dotted down the side of the fretboard. This thing's modern, it's got massive big disco biscuits on it. This has no fret markings anywhere on the sides, so my theory is the reason you often see classical players playing chords like that down there is because you know where the fuck they are. When you play it up here, it's like, oh, you've got to work your way up. Tempted to sit and play this all the time as well. This is a lovely wee guitar, but I'm still not knocking. This is a completely different thing, but nylon stringers, if you can be bothered tuning them, which you've really got to do, buy a nylon stringer. There's not an awful lot to get wrong, and the thing about these things is you can pick up, these are not expensive. I saw one in a charity shop, but okay, they wanted 50 quid for it, similar sort of thing. It's just nobody wants a nylon stringer. But the problem with the nylon stringer is, do you get like the new Ibanez? What's the guy's name? But I say new, the polyethylene Tim something, him, the guy with all the tattoos on his neck, looks like he's wearing a snood. He's got like a sort of Spanish, like an electro-acoustic nylon stringer, and it's whether this is, if you just get a proper one. It's meant to have the super wide fretboard, it's meant to have the really flat fingerboard, it's meant to be pure chunky, and it's meant to be like this. So just having like a modern version for amplification, it kind of defeats the purpose a little bit. This is the instrument. What's a load of twaddle? Yes, but that's very nice, that guitar.